What if I told you the next big global shift isn't happening in Washington or Beijing, but in New Delhi? India, the world's most populous country and now one of the top 5 global economies, is quietly becoming the centerpiece of the world's most important geopolitical chessboard, the Indo-Pacific. This isn't just about oceans and shipping lanes. This is about power, influence, control over the future of global trade, security, and balance. And the United States knows it. But to understand what's happening now, we need to rewind the clock just a bit, to the conflict that erupted between India and Pakistan in early 2025. It wasn't a full-scale war, but it was the closest the two nuclear-armed neighbors have come in decades. A high-altitude drone strike near the line of control, retaliatory air raids, a cyber attack on Indian defense networks, and then a shock move by Pakistan, conducting joint military drills with China just days later. That moment flipped the game board. India realized something very clear. If it wants to be safe, it can't rely on Cold War-era alliances. It needs next-gen weapons, real-time intelligence, and trusted partners. And the United States? It saw something too. It saw an opportunity. Since then, Indo-US ties have entered a new phase. Some even call it the Shadow Alliance. It's not a formal treaty, but it's becoming a powerful force. American defense tech is flowing into India like never before. Fighter jet engines from GE joint drone development, satellite collaboration, even whispers of real-time AI battlefield integration. And this isn't just about defense hardware, it's about reshaping the entire security architecture of the Indo-Pacific region, with India as a central pillar. Let's break it down. The Indo-Pacific is home to over 60% of the world's population and 60% of global GDP. Almost half of all global shipping moves through this region. Whoever controls the Indo-Pacific controls the future. Until now, China has been expanding aggressively in this space. Artificial islands, naval bases in the South China Sea, debt-trap diplomacy from Africa to the Pacific Islands. But India? It has a different approach. While China uses economic leverage and military posturing, India uses partnerships, influence, and diplomacy backed by growing military strength. The US sees India not as a puppet, but as a partner, a democratic, independent power that shares concerns about Chinese aggression, but wants to remain non-aligned. That's why Washington is playing smart. It's not forcing India into NATO or binding alliances. Instead, it's offering India access to next-gen military tech, intelligence sharing, and strategic dialogue without strings attached. And India is responding. In 2024, India joined the Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness Initiative, a move that gives it better surveillance over the Indian Ocean. This means India now helps monitor Chinese ship movements, pirate activity, and even underwater drone traffic. American warships have started making regular stops at Indian ports. The Malabar naval exercise has scaled up massively, now involving aircraft carriers, submarines, and even cyber warfare units. But here's where it gets really interesting. Behind the scenes, US and Indian intelligence agencies have been quietly collaborating on tracking Chinese undersea cables, espionage attempts, and even satellite surveillance patterns. There's a digital war brewing, and India is becoming a cyber power in this front too. You might be asking, why now? Because of timing. China is facing internal challenges, a slowing economy, rising youth unemployment, a fragile real estate sector, and growing dissent in regions like Xinjiang and Hong Kong. And on the other side, the US is looking to shift focus from the Middle East to the Indo-Pacific. India is the perfect pivot point. It borders China, rivals Pakistan, and has influence across Asia and Africa. It's a member of the Quad Alliance with Japan, Australia, and the US. And it's got one of the world's fastest-growing defense industries. This isn't just a military strategy. It's economic, too. American defense companies are investing in Indian manufacturing. Drones, artillery systems, avionics, all being co-produced in India. This helps both sides. The US gets a reliable manufacturing partner. India gets cutting-edge tech and jobs. There's even talk now of India being given special defense trade status, something only a few US allies enjoy. That would open doors to even more advanced systems, like stealth bombers, next-gen radar, and maybe even early warning satellite access. But what about the public? Are Indians ready to move closer to the US? Surprisingly, yes. After the 2025 Pakistan conflict, public sentiment in India shifted dramatically. Many saw the US as a more reliable partner than Russia, which remained neutral during the crisis. And with the US taking a tougher stance against China on issues like Taiwan and Tibet, Indians see strategic alignment. But here's the twist. India is still playing its own game. It continues to buy oil from Russia. It trades heavily with the Gulf. And it has increasing ties with Southeast Asia and Africa. It wants to remain multi-aligned, not trapped in anyone's orbit. This makes India more valuable to the US, not less, because India brings credibility, independence, and a massive regional presence to the table. In short, India is not becoming a sidekick in the Indo-Pacific. It's becoming a power in its own right. And that's why everyone, from Pentagon officials to Chinese strategists, is watching closely. What will India do next? Will it deepen joint space defense systems with the US? Will it take on a greater naval command role in the Indian Ocean? Or will it emerge as the world's third security superpower, joining the US and China in a new global triangle? Only time will tell. But make no mistake, India's moment has arrived. The Indo-Pacific is the stage, and New Delhi is no longer in the audience. It's stepping into the spotlight. So the next time you hear about a joint military drill or a new defense deal between India and the US, know this. It's not just another press release. It's part of a much bigger story, a story of shifting power, of global realignment, and of a nation once seen as a sleeping giant, now wide awake. Thanks for watching. If you liked this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. More deep dives coming your way, straight from the front lines of geopolitics.